Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IS English. In our today's video, we'll try to understand why is Article 262 of the Indian Constitution in news presently. Now, the reason why I've picked up this particular article for our today's discussion would be clear once you understand the context. Now, what happened this week, the CM of Tamil Nadu, Mr. C. Joseph Vijay, he wrote a letter to Prime Minister of India seeking his intervention, that is the central government should not give any statutory or administrative approval to the Karnataka's proposed Mekedatu project until unless center make sure that it is consistent with the Cauvery Water Dispute Tribunal's judgment of 2007 and the Supreme Court's direction of 2018. Now, before you guys try to understand why did the CM of Tamil Nadu is seeking intervention of the Prime Minister in this regard, we need to get historical background of this particular dispute very clear. First, we'll try to understand over which river there has been a dispute, that is Cauvery River. Then, what is the nature of this dispute? Has there been any kind of attempts been made to solve this dispute, and whether or not construction of a particular reservoir when one state is consistent or against the measures that have been suggested earlier to solve this dispute. Now, before we move forward, the notes which I will be using for our today's class, you can also download them by going to a particular Telegram channel called as ATS Live, and while you're at it, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel also. So let us start by understanding the heart of this dispute, that is the river Cauvery. Now, Cauvery River originates in Brahmagiri Hills in Kodagu district of Karnataka. It is flowing for about 800 kilometers in length, and it drains an area of more than 81,000 square kilometers, which is spread across multiple states. Now, one thing unique about this river as against other peninsular rivers, that the upper catchment area of this river close to Karnataka is supplied by water through southwest monsoon, whereas the lower catchment area, majorly in Tamil Nadu, is supplied by northeast monsoon. So, as a result, Cauvery River carries water throughout the year, which is not the case with other peninsular rivers. In addition to that, what you need to understand, Kabini, Bhavani and Amravati are the major tributaries of the river Cauvery. Now, the catchment area or the river basin of the Cauvery spreads across multiple states in southern India. It is carrying about 3% of Cauvery basin is in Kerala. In addition to that, 41% is in Karnataka and 56% is in Tamil Nadu. So, since major river basin is located in Tamil Nadu, historically, you will see Tamil Nadu has been able to better and majorly utilize the waters of river Cauvery as against Karnataka. So, historically, Tamil Nadu has used about 602,000 cubic feet TMC of water, whereas Karnataka has only been able to use 138 TMCs of water. Now, what happened that in 1924, Tamil Nadu constructed Mettur Dam on this river, and both of the states before, that was Madras state and Mysore state, signed an agreement on how they would share waters of the Cauvery River. This was in 1924, even before India got independent. Now, the consequence of this agreement, which were to last up till 1974, was that both Tamil Nadu and Karnataka was authorized through this agreement to increase the share of irrigated area, and where these areas will be irrigated from the waters of the river Cauvery. Now, you need to understand the scope of this agreement ended in 1974. But the situation of the state of Madras and Mysore in 1924 was very different from the state of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in the years of 1974. In the span of 50 years, when this agreement existed, the area went through transformative changes. The first change was explosion of population in this area, which created an urgency that you need to grow more crops, and to grow more crops, you need more irrigation. And from where the irrigation would be sourced from the waters of river Cauvery. In addition to population explosion, this area also witnessed industrialization and urbanization. So then emerged the needs for more drinking water and more water for industrial usage. So because of more irrigation, drinking water and industrial usage of water, Karnataka felt in 1974 that because of the agreement it has signed with Madras back in 1924, it restricted its ability to develop farming activities alongside Cauvery reservoirs. So, after the agreement got ended in 1974, Karnataka started building reservoirs, and this led to conflict between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu over how they should share the river waters of Cauvery. Now, thankfully, Article 262 of the Indian Constitution, which was drafted back in 1950, allowed for creation of a mechanism to solve these water disputes, which specifically pertains to flow of interstate rivers like the river Cauvery. Article 262 subsection 1 empowers the Parliament through a law that it can provide for an education of any dispute or complaint which happens between two or more states over sharing of river waters, particularly with respect to use, distribution and control of waters of any interstate rivers. In addition to that, Article 262 of the Constitution, subsection 2, it allows the Parliament that it can deny either Supreme Court or any other court in India the jurisdiction to solve such disputes through a legislative or a legal process. Right? So this is what is Article 262. It allows Parliament to create a mechanism to solve river water sharing disputes, and it also allows the Parliament to exclude the jurisdiction of any court, be it Supreme Court, High Court or any lower court, to hear matters relating to any disputes of share of interstate rivers. Right? Now, based on this, the Parliament of India in 1956 brought Interstate Water Disputes Act. It empowers the central government to set up an ad hoc tribunal for adjudication of disputes between two or more states when it pertains to share, use and distribution of interstate water rivers. Now, the decision when it will be passed by such ad hoc tribunals would be final and binding on the parties. And since water is not something of a private property, rather a public resource, therefore judicial mechanisms to solve such disputes have not been preferred. Rather, since it is a public resource which needs to be solved not just by providing for equal distribution of river waters among the each and every stakeholders, rather what the process should also include or take into factor the larger public interest, and that is why this situation disfavors inclusion of any courts to solve this dispute. Right? Now, on insistence of the state of Tamil Nadu, the central government created Cauvery Water Dispute Tribunal in 1990, which ultimately passed an order in February 2007 after hearing multiple iterations of hearing spanning over 70 years. Now, in its award, this Cauvery Water Dispute Tribunal said that there are 740 TMCs of water available in Cauvery for utilization, and therefore 419 TMC gets allocated to Tamil Nadu, 270 TMC gets allocated to Karnataka, 30 TMC is allocated for Kerala and 7 TMC is allocated for Puducherry, whereas the rest 14 TMC was reserved for environmental protection. So this is how the sharing of waters was divided between different states in a different manner. Now you must be wondering what's in it for Tamil Nadu, why it has gotten more share of waters. There is a very specific reason, right? I told you the judgment that is given by any tribunal for share of water resources of any interstate river is not based on equal distribution. Rather, it follows principle of equitable apportionment. What is equitable apportionment? Equitable apportionment means that the water sharing would be divided among many stakeholders after considering factors like historical use, irrigation dependence, drinking water requirements, as well as geography and future needs. So based on these considerations, if an area has more population, has more irrigated area, then that particular state would get more share of water as compared to other states. Now in this regard, you need to understand the state of Karnataka not just depends on Cauvery River waters but river waters of other rivers, whereas the farmers living in Tamil Nadu are majorly dependent on Cauvery River waters for irrigation of their farm fields. So these factors were taken into account in order to give more share of water to Tamil Nadu, right? In addition to that, the tribunal also stated that Karnataka must ensure release of 192 TMC of water in normal monsoon year, out of which 123 TMC should be provided during monsoon seasons. Now you need to understand, the tribunal also gave a judgment by taking into account what if in future there is a scarcity of rainfall. So in that case, the order of the tribunal stated that if the yield of water is less in a monsoon distress year, then the allocation of shares should be proportionately reduced for each and every shares or states in this particular dispute. Now, invariably what you will understand later on, that it is whenever there is a scarcity of rainfall in particular monsoon season, it is when the Cauvery dispute actually flares up. So this is a year where the rainfall has not been according to normal standards, and that is why we are discussing this matter, and that is why this matter has actually flared up in this region. Now, after the judgment given by the Cauvery Water Dispute Tribunal, Karnataka was not happy with the judgment. So Karnataka actually filed a petition in the Supreme Court asking for more water to be allocated to it. And Tamil Nadu thought, why should we not be in this particular judgment? So it also filed a review petition in the Supreme Court of India. Now, when this matter reached Supreme Court, Centre was asked to furnish its own opinion, and central government actually was of the opinion that since Parliament has brought a law called as Interstate Water Disputes Act of 1956, and based on the Article 262, subsection 2 of the Constitution, they have specifically excluded Supreme Court from hearing or deciding on any appeal against the tribunal's decision, because I told you the tribunal's decision was final and binding on all parties. So the central government was of the opinion that the Supreme Court does not have the power to adjudicate on any decision given by such tribunals created under Article 262. But Supreme Court, it stated that there is a provision of special leave petition under Article 136 of the Constitution, which is a foundational constitutional right, and it overrides any ordinary legislative act such as the Interstate Water Dispute Act, and therefore Supreme Court has the right to review as well as correct any perverse, unworkable or legally flawed award of a tribunal when Supreme Court wants to ensure final justice. So Supreme Court used its power under Article 163 to override Article 136 to override Article 262, saying that whenever any tribunal award is incorrect, perverse, unworkable or legally flawed, they have an option to intervene. And as a result, Supreme Court modified, not changed, a bit modified the award given by the tribunal in 2007. It increased the share of water allocated to Karnataka from 270 TMC to 284 TMC, and in order to compensate, it reduced the share of waters allocated to Tamil Nadu. Now it stated since Tamil Nadu would now get less waters from the Cauvery River, it can be compensated by extraction of groundwater in the Tamil Nadu. Meanwhile, the share of two parties, that is Puducherry and Kerala, remained unchanged. So what happened? That Supreme Court intervened, increased by a little amount the allocation of Karnataka, and the same number of allocation was reduced for the state of Tamil Nadu. And Supreme Court relied on two particular factors to change this award given by the Cauvery Water Dispute Tribunal. First of all, the Supreme Court stated that since Bengaluru and surrounded areas have attained global status, therefore its need for supplying of drinking water to the people who need there has risen multifold, and this should take legal precedence as against provision of water for irrigation purposes. In addition to that, Supreme Court also stated that the 2007 award of the Cauvery Water Dispute Tribunal had understated the presence of groundwater below the state of Tamil Nadu. So Tamil Nadu, as it is now receiving less amount of water after the modification of Supreme Court, has been allowed to extract this very groundwater for its purposes, right? So this was the logic behind which the Supreme Court used to modify the award given by the 2007 tribunal. In addition to that, in 2018, an authority known as Cauvery Water Management Authority was constituted, which is a statutory body, and it will act as an implementation mechanism for the Supreme Court's award as well as the tribunal's award. Now, this body is headquartered in New Delhi and it functions under Ministry of Jal Shakti of the Union Government. This Cauvery Water Management Authority consists of a chairperson, member secretary and 8 members who represent central ministries as well as all the stakeholders, states and union territories. Now this Cauvery Water Management Body acts as an apex body which oversees the storage, apportionment, regulation and control of Cauvery River water. Assisting the task of Cauvery Water Management Authority is the Cauvery Water Regulation Committee. This committee is a ground level monitoring body which functions under the overall guidance of CWMA, and it gathers daily data on water levels, inflow, storage position at key reservoirs, and also publishes weather forecast which helps CWMA decide how much water should be provided to each and every state following the implementation of the tribunal as well as the Supreme Court's decision. Now let us try to understand where does Mekedatu project comes in and why it is disputed right now. Now Mekedatu project is a project which has been proposed by the state of Karnataka to be constructed in Ramnagaram district, which is located 100 kilometers south of the city of Bengaluru, very near to the boundaries of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Now the dam has a proposed capacity of 48 TMC and it is constructed or will be constructed at an estimate cost of 6,000 crore rupees. Now this proposed project has already been contentious for years, and Tamil Nadu is of the opinion that since it will increase the upstream storage in the state of Karnataka, which would allow the state of Karnataka to regulate force the flows of the river water of Cauvery in a manner which would be detrimental for the use of this water at the downstream level, that is at the levels of the state of Tamil Nadu. So as a result, the CM of Tamil Nadu, Mr. C. Joseph, has written a letter to Prime Minister Modi invoking the clause 11th of the Water Tribunal award given by the Cauvery Water Dispute Tribunal. The CM of Tamil Nadu has argued that this proposed project should not be evaluated merely from its engineering point of view. Rather, what the CM of Tamil Nadu states that the clause 11th of the Cauvery Water Dispute Tribunal award states that if any upper riparian state is taking any action for control of river water, it should take a mutual agreement or consultation with the regulatory authority and all the other stakeholders involved. And therefore, if any construction is done which negatively impacts the lower riparian state, the permission should be taken. And it is for this permission or denial of this permission is why the CM of Tamil Nadu has written a letter to the Prime Minister. Now, on the other hand, the Karnataka state government is of the opinion that Mekedatu project is intended primarily as a balancing reservoir. It is not a dam which allows the state of Karnataka to change the flow of river water. Rather, it allows the state of Karnataka for provisioning of drinking water to Bengaluru, replenishment of regional groundwater levels and generation of hydropower electricity. And according to Karnataka government, this Mekedatu project is not meant for additional irrigation and therefore it is not trying to go against the decision of the tribunal and Supreme Court. So, Tamil Nadu has no locus standi in order to prevent for construction of this project, and that is why this dispute has actually bifurcated right now. Now, what you need to understand why this issue flared up now. I told you this project has been contentious for many years, so why it is in news right now? Now, I told you initially, whenever there is a scarcity of rainfall in a particular area, it is the situation when this issue actually flares up. And this year in 2026, we understand the rainfalls has not been at its adequate level. So what has been given by the dispute tribunal and Supreme Court in its award that between 1st June and 23rd of July, the Tamil Nadu should have received roughly 32 TMC of water coming from Karnataka according to the precedents that has already been set. But up till now, Tamil Nadu has only received about 3.5 TMC of water. Tamil Nadu is of the opinion that yes, this year amount of rainfall has reduced. So even if you account for the lesser allocation based on proportionate decrease of rainfall, even then we deserve 3 TMC more water which has not been released. And if you don't release any water, any deficit or delay in release of water would severely affect the farmers who are farming in Cauvery Delta. So this is why this issue has flared up. Now, based on this request by the Tamil Nadu government, the Cauvery Water Regulation Committee reviewed this situation and actually directed the state of Karnataka to release 4 TMC more waters to Tamil Nadu. Now, historically, whenever this dispute has flared up between the two states, earlier, both of these states have favored for an adjudicatory mechanism through tribunal or through Supreme Court. But something different happened this year. The CM of Tamil Nadu, Mr. C. Joseph Vijay, he has sought in a direct meeting with the CM of Karnataka in order to solve this dispute. So, political intervention is much more desired because it gives any kind of solution a public backing which an adjudicatory mechanism won't. So, this is why this news becomes important for our today's discussion. Now, before we try to solve a question that might appear in UPSC exam based on the topic that we just covered right now, you need to understand right now, today itself is the last day for sale where you have an option to take any course of UPSC, especially in English language, at a discounted rate of 50% and which will be offered with double the validity. So suppose if you're buying a course right now, which has a validity of 18 months, at max you'll be able to give one attempt with that course. But now since this course is offered at double the validity, that is 18 plus 18, that is 36 months, theoretically you can utilize this course for as many as 3 attempts. So this is the benefit of course which is offered with double validity. And to make things sweeter, you will only be required to pay 50% of the amount that people pay in normal circumstances. Please remember, this date of sale ends today by midnight, so make sure to take admissions beforehand. And if you want to get this deal which I told you right now, make sure to use the code ATS Live before making the final payment. So this is all from my side for today. This is the question I'd want you to solve. With reference to Article 262 of the Constitution, consider the following statements. Read these two statements and do let me know which above the following statements is or are correct. And the ones who are waiting to download the notes, you'd find them here on the Telegram channel called as ATS Live. So this is all from my side for today. Please have a very good day. We'll see you again quite soon.